Welcome back to Time Serve, the channel that's against the target so you don't have to. Boyd, oh Boyd, do we have a hammer drop for you? All kidding aside, this thug actually put together quite the speech to avoid jail time. However, the punishment always fits the crime in the 187, so I guess you know where this one is headed. Check out this crackhead having to make Sophie's choice right here. Like and subscribe, set your notifications to all. Let's roll, nerds.
9938 State versus Kylan Michael Gutierrez. Mr. Gutierrez, if you'll come down, and could parties re-announce for the record? State.
Jason Garahan for the state, Your Honor.
Defense.
Good morning, Todd McCrae for Mr. Gutierrez.
All right. And defense, any objections to the court reviewing the NCIC TCIC?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, court has reviewed the documents. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
Judge, he has his mom is here, Miss Gutierrez, his father is here, Mr. Gutierrez, and the girlfriend that's mentioned in the letter is also present. I can proffer what they would say.
All right, any objections to the defense making proffers as opposed to calling the witnesses? All right, and where are the witnesses in the courtroom?
Mr. Gutierrez, would you stand up, please? And Miss Gutierrez? And Miss Salcedo?
All right, thank you. You may be seated. All right, counsel, you may proceed.
Judge, first of all, you could see he's supported here by his family. His father, Mr. Gutierrez, is a retired police officer. He served 30, looking at my notes here, he served 32 years as a police officer in New Orleans. He's married to Mr. Gutierrez's mother. They're very law-abiding people here in the community. They don't condone the substance abuse history that you see that Mr. Gutierrez has. They're very supportive of his application for community supervision in the community. And they would testify that they would like the court to grant his application for community supervision. They believe he understands his responsibilities in the community and to his family, and that he would make a good candidate for community supervision.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Could you speak up? Probation can't hear.
Excuse me. And his present girlfriend, who is the person would testify that the firearm belonged to her. It ended up in a backpack. She did not know, because the relationship had just started, that he was not permitted to have a firearm. It was in a backpack where his clothes were located. He took the backpack because his clothes were there. Didn't realize the firearm was in there, although that's very reckless. And the offense actually includes a reckless component. Mr. Gutierrez has accepted responsibility for his reckless behavior and not checking that backpack and knowing what was in there. So she would confirm what you read in his statement about the fact that the backpack belonged to her. He was stopped carrying the backpack on a bicycle. He was on a sidewalk instead of the roadway when he was stopped by the police. So that was the probable cause to stop. And there was a warrant for his arrest. He's been on parole for a long time, since he was released from a substance abuse conviction back in 2019. He served well in parole and never turned any dirty UAs into parole. There were some technical violations where, while he was in parole, he did serve a term in the state ISF for substance abuse. And while he was incarcerated, Judge, he also was in the therapeutic community there. So the TAP evaluation says that he's not motivated for treatment, but I have talked to him about this, and he would willingly accept any programs or counseling that the court believes is appropriate as a probation condition. He just feels like that he has had counseling and he presently doesn't have a drug problem, although he will acknowledge the influence that illegal substances have had on his life. He just wants the court to know he hasn't used any controlled substances since his release on parole. He was employed while he was on parole. He's working for Ashley Furniture. The only reason he lost that is because when he went into the ISF program, he obviously couldn't hold that employment. So he's employable. His girlfriend, Miss Salcedo, would tell the court that she is interested in a long-term relationship with him. She will not have any weapons anywhere near him. She knows now that that's prohibited for him to have any kind of firearms or illegal weapons. And she's offered him a place to reside. She'll let him stay with her, and she wants to continue the relationship. He'd like to be a good citizen in the community. He'd like to comply with any conditions whatsoever, any conditions that the court wants to impose. His parole term has already really expired, and he understands that it is up to parole whether to reinstate it or not. But I think parole would take into consideration if the court were to grant a community service application. He is respectfully and humbly asking the court to grant his community service application. And based on my communications with him, I think you have a sincere defendant here begging for your consideration of his application for probation.
All right. Any witnesses?
Other than the proffer of the 3 witnesses, that's all I have, Judge.
All right. All right, State. You are opposed?
Yes, we are.
All right. I'll hear your argument, State.
States opposed on individuals have previously convicted felonies, including by felons. But I believe the CIC so that he did serve prison time. And then the author has a drug case that the officer served prison time. And for those reasons, Judge, the state is opposed to the conviction. And the last 10 years, that's part of it.
All right. Defense court will hear your argument.
Judge, I would, if he wanted to address the court, I would call him as a witness.
All right. Do you wish to address the court?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Ivan Michael Figueres.
All right. Do you want to do this question or answer, or is there something you wish to say?
Did you just want to address the court about, in terms of an allocution, about why you believe you would be a good candidate for community supervision?
Yes, ma'am. I have a brief statement. May I be able to pull out a read to you, please?
Sure. But I will tell you this, the state will have an opportunity to question you if they choose to question you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And state, you have no objection to him reading a statement?
No.
All right, you may proceed.
Honorable Judge Boyer, thank you for considering my application for probation. I wrote this to briefly explain my desires within my heart and my life. My support system is in court today. My father, a Vietnam veteran, a 30 retired officer in New Orleans, a great loving mother, and a beautiful girlfriend who I will be residing with, who will take me to every appointment, community service, and etc. if granted community supervision. My girlfriend, Alana Salcedo, and I will be investing in a truck for a moving company for appliances and reassembling and disassembling furniture locally throughout San Antonio. May 26, 2024 was my 5th anniversary of sobriety. From 2020 to 2023, I had a stable job, a car, and a home. Please give me an opportunity to show you and myself that I am a perfect candidate for probation, freedom, instead of falling into another statistic and becoming just a number lost in the penitentiary. And if you feel to not grant me probation, Ms. Boyd, please have mercy on me and give me a number my family and I can handle so I can continue my rehabilitation from imprisonment and addiction and once again be a productive member of society Thank you for hearing my part of my testimony. God bless you, Judge Boyer.
All right, thank you. All right, State, any questions?
Yes, but did you get to prison in 2016 for unlawful possession of a firearm or assault?
Yes, sir.
And then you also went to prison for a separate drug charge, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And have you, yeah,
I'm not affiliated.
no further questions.
All right, anything else?
That's all I have, Judge.
All right, State, you're asking for 10 years? All right, Mr. Gutierrez, I want you to know that I listened to everything that you said. I listened to the proffer by your attorney, and it's no doubt in my mind that the witnesses who are here for support for you would have said great things about you. But with that being said, after listening to everything and reviewing the documents that were presented before me, I don't think you'll be a good candidate for probation. So I'm going to find you guilty. The state is asking for 10 years. Defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, he has about 4 months of credit. He's been incarcerated since the arrest. We had asked the court to consider the lower end of the term. You've heard his allocution to the court. He's asking for a sentence that would be something that would permit him to be released sooner rather than later. So we'd ask the court for the lower end of the range, please.
All right, the court is going to sentence you to a $2,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. Court will give you credit for any time served. The court will recommend the therapeutic community. The court will sentence you to 8 years in the prison. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
I am so sad. I am so very, very sad.
Right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question of what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. I understand that you wanted, probation, but I have to balance certain things, look at everything that is presented to me. When you're released, if you have trouble finding a place that can help you, if I'm still here, you can come back to the court and I'll pick up the phone and call some people, okay? All right, good luck to you. Thank you.